All right, hello everyone. Yay, Cancer. We have Mercury in Cancer happening on the 11th of July 2021. So this video is for that particular day, and I'll talk about the 12th house because that's where Mercury is going to be. Okay, Cancer is going to be. So I'll get into that. However, I want to make it also about it being your birth sign and what Mercury in Cancer generally means. Mercury enters Cancer. Okay, and this happens at 4:35 p.m. Pacific time, so check your locations. Okay, now with Mercury in Cancer, it's the expectance of people to know what you're thinking and what you're feeling. I like to call this the Cancer shell act, right? Because Cancers, they're just in their shell, they're private, they don't really like to share a lot, right? So they're very soft and caring on the inside, but then they have to be strong for this world, right? Because their compassion is so beautiful and so large. It's just so great. And with Mercury here, Mercury in Cancer is typically not, in some astrology, they're like, it's not necessarily good. But out of something not being good, you can find the good in it and how to tweak it. It's all about recognizing what it is, good or bad, and using it. So it's not like the strong or best placement. So when they say it's bad, I don't like, if it's bad, I like to say, okay, what is the lesson here? Okay, I know it, let me flip it, let me work with it, master it, move forward, right? So I'm always like that pushing winner, right? Even in tough times. So we just gotta deal with that, right? So it's like the psychology of astrology, right? Now, it's a very intuitive level, right? So you're very intuitive with the moon, and the moon used to be the old Mercury, right? It's the moon is still a communicative planet just like Mercury. So now you have these two planets that's all about communication. So with Mercury in Cancer, you can get these downloads, you can meditate on communicating. How can I communicate better? How do I communicate? How can I better the way that I communicate with myself and others? It's always starting with self first. So it's really, this placement is like, others should know what I'm thinking, but they can't read your mind. So we have to remember that, giving hints, or better yet, just saying, this is what I need, this is what I want, and really speaking your mind in the best way. There's classes on speaking from your heart, speaking from your womb, or speaking from your private, right? So that your voice can relate to that person, right? It's that sweet loving energy, right? Or that heart energy. So it depends on who you're communicating to and what your goal is in the best possible way. So that is one meaning and one aspect of Mercury in Cancer. Another one that I looked up is the birth sign. So let's get to the birth sign. If you're born with Mercury in Cancer, it will mean the first part that I said, but it also means that your emotions will factor your decisions. Cancers, they're about the home. So when they're about the home, right? And I believe that's the fourth house, right? They want to have relationships, right? They don't want to necessarily be alone, okay? Now, with this Mercury in Cancer, it's not necessarily the most positive alignment. However, because they're communicating and they feel that everyone should be that intuitive with their communication. I guess that's the aspect that they're taking it from in astrology. However, everything they do is based on their emotion, but also on their loneliness. And Cancer does not want to be lonely, right? The crab doesn't want to be lonely. And it will drive the plans that they make, the judgments and the decisions that they make. However, you want to make sure that what it is you're going for is what you really want. And you guys know what the real issue is. You know that your feelings and your sensitivity and the vibration of whatever it is that you're feeling, you can feel it. You can feel it on the emotional level, the sensitivity level, where others can't feel that, okay? And because others can't feel that as strong as you do, they might not fully understand why you base your decisions on feeling lonely or loneliness, even though we all feel it. But in this aspect, the goal is to give yourself time to get over the loneliness, right? And that way you can make a more balanced decision. So when others don't feel that strongly, they won't really understand where you're coming from. Now, you want to give yourself more time to balance out these feelings. So a good practice is to write things down. And this is what I wrote down. This is what I got, okay? Writing things down. And how does my heart feel, right? How does my soul feel? And then on another section, how does your mind feel? And how does your intuition feel? Because I feel like the mind is a calculating part of it. But then I feel like the intuition should go along with the heart and the soul. However, with the mind, factor in the intuition as well, because it's going to help balance it out. That's what I feel. Let me know what you think as well, okay? Now, with Mercury in the 12th house, now the 12th house is a Pisces house, right? Another water sign. And it's your spiritual life and it's your dreams. So you can think of lucid dreams, right? And it's the house of self-sabotage. So yes, we can mess up our own prosperity, our own love, right? It's a house of leveling up, transcendency, right? So how can you transcend this? How can you move beyond where you are? It's also the place of institution, so something well organized can also, if they incorporate, which I feel a lot of spirituality, it can make that position even more powerful, okay? And it's also solitude, which Cancer can relate to, because it's time to be alone, right? By yourself. And with this Mercury, you're in your own mind, right? So you are thinking of all of these great communication ideas, these great solvings that you're doing for yourself, but others might not receive that, okay? So this is where you voicing how you truly feel will help under this aspect, all right? Now I'll get into where this aspect will be and how long it will last as well, okay? Now, with Mercury in the 12th house, it's good for people. What it says is good for success, career, money, fame, and receiving recognition. So it has that good quality in the 12th house. And this is from the illusion that you can present, right? And tapping into your psychic abilities and your spirituality. When you can really take the time to meditate and empower your 12th house, everything is a dream. If you think of this whole life experience as a dream, you can shift things around to make them better. And using the element, even though it's a 12th house, they mentioned here that your success can be in the airlines and in anything that has to do with air and travel, right? So see about that, right? So it's also a great time for your imagination and your thoughts. You can, the negative part is, and a friend of mine that's a coach, also a life coach, talks about this too. It's the unreal perspectives that you have, right? So remember, we're in the dream world of the 12th house. So if you have a strong water in your chart, no matter what zodiac sign is, be careful of not having this unreal expectation, right? Being irrational thoughts, right? And convincing yourself of whatever it is that you're thinking and you believe. So be mindful of that, especially if it's something that's sad, okay? But it's a strong imagination, which is not good. So make sure that you're in control of your mind, right? It's a very Kundalini yoga thing. It's like, who's in control of your mind, you or you know, just the weak part of you. It has to be the strong part of you that wins, right? So, and it's not the best position for Mercury, like I say, being in the 12th house, but you can flip it by being of a strong mind, by tapping into your creativity. So if you're a writer and writing sci-fi, okay, writing sci-fi stuff, this is going to be good. Fantasy stories, writing that down, and really tapping into your psychic vision. But make sure that you're using affirmations, so positive affirmations, so that you are of a powerful, positive mind, okay? the sunlight's coming in and creating like a rainbow right here. That's so cool. Okay, so what about this particular time right now with Mercury enter Cancer on the 11th, right? It's like a great time to really lead with our heart and our compassion in the way that we communicate. And I think that what I found out about this Mercury in Cancer really talked about that, okay? Also, coming up next is a full moon in Aquarius, which is an air sign, the water bearer, right? So they have strong water emotions as well. That happens on July 23rd. It all depends on our location. So, and that's going to give us time to really reflect. And I'll get into that one in the next video on our lives and our future ideas, because, you know, Aquarius is future thinking. Now, Mercury will enter Leo on July 27th, okay? And this is going to be about adding more fullness and passion into our life, because August is going to be a very powerful month. Not only is it going to be a month that ends summer and ends all that fire and this heat that we build up within ourselves, good or bad, but it's going to be that transition leading up into September. So I'll talk about that. But when this Mercury enters Leo, it's another bigger way of communicating for us, and it's going to be good for our life and fulfilling a big passion that we want, okay? So that's just a little bit forward looking for us. The next video I want to do is for July 15th, Chiron retrograde, and what that means, okay? So yeah, I hope that you guys found this video informative and very helpful. And just see how, what I really liked about this one was how it talks about what we're creating, you know, what we're creating, what we're thinking, unrealistic and realistic. And sometimes our mind will create a protective imagery for us to hold on to. And Mercury is good at communicating, and communicating is powerful. The 12th house is powerful with our imagination, and with this Mercury combination in the 12th house, we want to make sure that what we're thinking isn't unrealistic and we're not being irrational, okay? So that's pretty cool. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Happy new moon, because today is the new moon when I'm uploading this video, and I'll see you guys in the next videos.